Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another great edition of Freed on Business. Let's get that adjusted correctly. I want to thank our guests today. We're going to have a tremendous show. We got Publix, we got Oh Poetry, we got Oh My Goodness. It's going to be a great show. And of course, we've got Mr. Oh My Goodness, Regan Mendoza helping behind the scenes. So Mr. Mendoza, take it away. We'll be right back with some great info on some great poetry. It's Culture Day here in Miami. Take it away, Mendoza. You know, Miami's my hometown. It's so beautiful, day or night, doesn't really matter. So remember, come to Miami and do business just like everybody else. And hey, when you come down here, you're going to need a car. So of course, if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at their store on Biscayne and 151st Street. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. Which one am I going to get? Which one am I getting when my lease is up in this summer? I don't know, but I'm going to talk to Larry at Supercar Saturday, this Saturday up in Pembroke Pines. My good friend Ken Morris is going to meet me there. Hopefully I'll see you there too. And remember, when you stop in at Warren Henry, you get a whole list of great things. The Warren Henry Advantage, it's a list of great things that you get with your car. It includes complimentary loaner service, of course. You'll also get a free replacement of your keys. They'll polish up your rims if you scratch them. A whole bunch of other things, including the fact that they'll guarantee you get your best price for your trade-in. You get a great price on your car that you buy or lease, and you get 3 days to make sure you like the car. You can return it. Nobody returns a car. They always like it. So join lots of my friends, my family, my beautiful mama, and of course, my wonderful wife, Miss Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
It's time to stop the hate and spread some love. You are beautiful, you're smart, you are awesome, and you never have to change for anybody. You have the voice and you have the power. We are so much stronger when we come together. It's your choice, so choose to be inspired. Choose to be accepting, be strong, be brave, be awesome, be daring, be kind. Choose kindness.
I just love that. That's such great energy. You know what else is great energy? Giving me a call is great energy. Call me, direct message me. Why? Because I work with families from all over the world to help them execute their real estate business plans right here in Florida. So, as I said, bridge lending, construction lending, we even do home loans. Give us a call. If you've got a capital markets or real estate capital need, I can help. I know great people. They pick up the phone. Usually it only takes one phone call and we close real fast. So why call me? Because when you do, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed 1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're back with more Freed on Business, and I want to thank, as always, Lisa Paley, who brings us all these great cultural events. We're going to talk today about the O Poetry Festival, which is an ongoing interactive poetry event here in Miami-Dade County. Regan, where's my guest? There she is, Melissa Gomez. Thank you, Melissa, for being here. Melissa's representing the O Poetry folks today. Melissa, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you a poet?
I don't label myself as a poet, but I'm learning to do that more. I just say that I'm in community with poets, and I'm trying to be a more active writer. And thanks for having me, Jim. I really appreciate it.
It's my absolute pleasure. We're so glad you're here. So what do you do with OPO? What is the O Poetry event? When is it running? How do people interface with that? And what is the intent of the festival?
Yeah, so April is National Poetry Month. So the team at O Miami, we see Miami as our beloved. So in poetry, you'd write a poem, O comma, and the thing that would be after that comma would be the person you'd be in love with, and it'd be your beloved. So for us, Miami is our beloved, and the festival is very much an ode to our love for Miami. So from April 1st through 30th, we have engagements all across Miami-Dade County. And we have festival events, workshops, online and in person. Something that we're doing that you can encounter all month long is that we actually partnered with Sweet Melody Ice Cream Co., which is down in West Kendall, to develop a student poetry ice cream series. So each ice cream flavor is inspired by a student poem that we taught in classrooms. Yeah.
That is tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your favorite flavor?
Oh, that's tricky. Chloe's plum cheesecake ice cream was really fantastic. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
There's a cereal flavor ice cream. There's a funnel cake ice cream, all kid fun flavors that the whole family can enjoy.
Oh, that's so tremendous. So that's a really good example of the cultural impact that you guys are having here in our community. What prompted you to get involved with this, Melissa?
So I joined the team in 2019, and the way the festival works is that community members in Miami-Dade County, but also outside of Miami, can pitch projects. So I was one of those people that pitched a fun open mic night around love poems and like 90s R&B back in like 2017. And then years later, they were looking for folks, and I had a lot of fun just meeting Scott and Melody and everybody at the O Miami team. And now I'm communications lead. So a couple of years later, it's I get to see it from both sides, and I've seen it as a project manager and seen what it is to put these projects out into Miami. And we're having a blast over here every year.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about a couple of your installations that you find to be inspiring? Let's start east of 95 in the urban core. Is there anything going on in the urban core?
So I think that east of 95. So we have a project actually right now that's ongoing. It's a fence wrap around a school at Morningside K-8, which is in the MIMO district. So we teach a poetry program at Morningside K-8 with their main teachers, and we've developed poems throughout the year with their classrooms, 4th and 5th grade specifically, and did a school-wide poetry lesson with them because the kids really wanted to do poetry lessons with us. So if you drive down Northeast 4th Court, that corridor, you'll see 2 blocks down. There's 28 poems from the kids there. It's beautiful.
You know, that's what it's really all about, is making our community a better place. It's become a much more difficult urban landscape, especially for our young people. And the fact that you've given them a loving and kind outlet is something that I am inspired by, and I really want to thank you for.
Yeah. And, you know, I think the fun part about it for us is that we want to make poetry more accessible. We want to take it off the shelf, make it less intimidating, and have people just encounter it. And whether they're parked in Brickell and they go to their car and they see a poetry parking ticket that we've made this year, or they go to one of our events, or they see us basically try to engage with community members, there's tons of way for people to encounter poetry this April.
It's really exciting. What are some other places in town that people can go see this live and in person and experience it and make their lives better for it?
Yeah, so in Opelika, we still have a project that's ongoing called the Opelika Light District, and that's 9 poems written by folks from Opelika over the past couple of years, and that took us about 3 years to install because of numerous circumstances. But in the evening, once the lights go on in the street lights, the poems will be shown on the sidewalk as well. So that's something that people can see after 6 p.m. all the way to 6 o'clock in the morning in Opelika through the end of the festival. And then we have site-specific, time-specific workshops. So on Saturday, we're actually hosting a history tour, a self-guided history tour of the Venetian Islands. So people can meet us at Margaret Pace Park to grab a map, and then they go on their own excursion, whether by bike, by foot, or by car, and then meet us at Belle Isle Park for a reading at the end of it.
When is that? That's on Saturday?
April 9th, Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m.
Oh, how spectacular, especially with the long evenings now. It's really something, you know, everybody finishes their day at like 4 and they don't know what to do anymore. So that's great. So people can go, they meet you. Where is it again? At Margaret Pace. They're going to meet at Margaret Pace Park, which is, where is that? I know where it is, but let's tell it.
Margaret Pace Park is in downtown, and that's kind of like the start of Venetian Islands. And then we'll meet right at the end, which is Belle Isle Park. So it's kind of like a
South Edgewater Omni area, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a scavenger hunt, and we'll guide you along. And the booklet has a path and a route set with like hidden histories. So if you go to a certain part, you'll hear hidden treasures about that spot. So you'll have time to read while you're at the location, and then eventually hear the poets that are featured in the zine at the finale.
What a wonderful event for a couple or families, or just somebody who wants to get engaged and connected and surround themselves with other like-minded, wonderful people.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're partnering with the folks at Islandia Journal, their emerging journal, Jason Katz, who's a really good friend of ours and has so much knowledge. Jason Katz.
Who?
Jason Katz.
Jason
Katz. Katz, K-A-T-Z.
And this is a gentleman that grew up here in Miami, right?
Yeah, so we're partnering with him for this event. So it's in collaboration, and he's so knowledgeable about the Venetian Islands and came to us with this project.
Wow, that's fascinating. He really is a tremendous individual.
I think so
too. For 20 years.
I figure.
So it's time for a break. Do you think you could spend just a couple more minutes with me skewering Jason on the other side of the break?
I'd be happy to.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy that part too. Mr. Mendoza, I'm actually having fun now. Hi, I'm Jim Freed. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry. I was just texting Jason Katz. That's why it was so cute. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry Automotive for being our sponsors for so many years, especially Samantha Wolf. Thank you for always handling us on our account. Thank you to Larry Zinn for putting it all together and being such a wonderful, wonderful partner and friend. Abe Cohn, of course, Eric Day, the visionary, and the man, the myth, and the legend himself, Warren Zinn. They treat us like family. It's a wonderful experience. They've been our partner in transportation for 25 or 30 years now. I can't give them a bigger endorsement than to say that my family gets all their cars there, including my mom, and she gets treated like gold. So if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can, and that's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar, Biscayne, and 151st Street. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. Down in the Keys, they sell all their cars. What do all those cars have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry advantage. Complimentary dent repair. Complimentary key replacement, complimentary service loaner, complimentary buffing up of your rims, all kinds of great things. But the best thing is that you feel like family, that they love you and they care about you, because they really do. So join me, lots of my friends, my mom, and of course, my beautiful wife, Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
This is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Freed, and I help families execute their real estate plan. I also work with a lot of real estate operating companies to do the same thing. I bring very, very flexible capital, debt and equity, construction loans, bridge loans, permanent loans, even help folks with their hard-to-do home loans. So give me a call. You see the number. DM me, text me. It's all there. And remember, whenever you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're back on Freed on Business. Today is Poetry for the first half of the hour. Mr. Mendoza, if you don't mind. There she is. Melissa Gomez. She's the communications director for Poetry. Melissa, thank you so much for being on with us today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So we talked about Jason Katz's wonderful tour of Venetian Islands. I used to mentor. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. Jason and I worked together at the Aztec Group for many years doing real estate deals. He's a tremendous dude. And he decided to put his focus into the arts, which I commend him for doing. Now, what is another interactive event that's coming up? Because if I know Mr. Katz, it takes a lot of intricate planning to put these together. So let's profile another one of your collaborators.
Yeah, so we're working with an incredible artist named Michelle Lisa Polisant, and starting April 16th at Legion Park, she'll be doing this really wonderful, thoughtful experience where people can go up to her with a fabric from one they brought from home, or she'll have fabrics available and she'll be stitching poems onto the fabric so people can take with them. And they're poems from our archive, from our Zip Bodes initiative, from our education program. And they're wonderful lines that people can take with them and just have a piece of poetry that they can put it in their homes.
Well, life is poetry, you know. So really, I think that having a little bit of art that's you've collaborated on is really, really cool. It really is impactful, you know, to be something sits in somebody's, box or on their desk, and then suddenly it makes them feel really good in a random way. That's so nice.
And when Michelle and our team were discussing her project, there's a sense of that these fabrics that people have at home are really sentimental, and growing up in places or at least in my family, where they're like, oh, don't touch these good fabrics, or these are the fabrics used for this. There's like some value and sentimentalness to these things, so they could bring them and have a piece of poetry stitched onto them and brought home to their family and their elders.
Oh my goodness. You know, I have a little, I'll just say it. I have like a hand towel from my grandmother. That's it.
Yeah.
I have something else that was a special thing that my father owned, who's no longer with us. Yeah. So those are things that I do touch and do feel that do transport me. And it's a fascinating idea. Oh my gosh, look at you expanding my mind just with these ideas. Anything? Yeah. So we've talked about two things that are north of downtown. Anything going on down south?
So down south, that's definitely the ice cream. That's definitely ongoing. And
the ice cream, right?
Yeah, that's going to be in West Kendall. Further south, going all the way to the Redlands, we're having this beautiful multilingual workshop on April 16th as well at 11 a.m. Our workshop facilitator, Gabriella, is hosting a collective soup making workshop, and people can also write poetry in response to the collaboration. And that's also touches on home and familial rituals. And that's going to be at Aloha Redland in Homestead on April 16th.
How nice. How nice. So that's the Redlands. That's Dadeland and Kendall, right? Was the other anything like up in Doral? Doing anything in Doral, or how about Miami Gardens? The Miami Gardens community, I think, could really use some poetry.
Well, Miami Gardens and Opelika are pretty much, there's like it's a very close neighborhood to the Opelika.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So you're going to be doing the thing in Opelika where you're going to be doing the broadcasting of the poems on the streets and stuff like that. Let's see. Aventura. How about Aventura? Anything in Aventura?
So I think in terms of the things we're having up north, there's also this really beautiful workshop we're hosting this Saturday called The Language of Miami Wildflowers.
Oh my gosh.
It's a walk through Morningside Park with a horticulturalist and a poet. And we'll basically be walking through and finding these weeds that are so overlooked in greenery spaces in the urban core and making micro bouquets at the park. And that'll be kind of a sense of therapy and also a sense of ritual as well.
Well, so I've got to get my friend Elvis in on that. Elvis curates that park. He does the palm tree thing. So Elvis Cruz, his name is Elvis Cruz. Tell him about that.
We got to get Elvis there. That's Saturday. April 9th at 8:30 in the morning. So it'll be a nice, very early start.
I'll email him. Morningside Park, poetry. Oh, he's going to love that. My gosh. Miami Beach.
Miami Beach. So we have an amazing poetry reading planned at the New World Symphony rooftop on April 16th. So Ada Limon, Roger Reeves, and Leslie Sines will be reading their poetry, having their books for sale, having a signing April 16th at 7:30 p.m. at the New World Symphony rooftop.
That's sunset.
And it's going to be gorgeous. I mean, if you just walk past or go past New World Symphony, every part of that structure is really incredible.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And flying in poets from out of town, which we haven't done since pre-COVID. That's something we really are thrilled we can do this year.
Well, Leslie Sines is local, right?
She's actually now in Vermont.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my, look at that. See, so I'm behind the times a little bit. Yeah. So that's great. That's great. So that's Miami. How about North Beach up by like Bal Harbor, Surfside? They got a beautiful band shell up there. Doing anything up there?
We're actually doing a movie screening tomorrow at the band shell. So we're playing Before Night Falls, which is the Renato Arenas movie from 2001. So we'll be doing a poetry reading before the film, and then a drag artist performance as the movie ends. And it's also Pride Week on Miami Beach. So we're really happy we can do this during Pride. And
supportive.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm really happy that you're providing that particular segment of our community an enriching event. They've really been under siege lately. We don't really talk about that kind of stuff here, but it's been really offensive what's been
and to highlight and give honorariums to queer artists, I think is really important. We have many queer LGBTQI programs this April as well.
Can you name a couple of others?
Sure. So we just did a program with Pride Miami Beach. We did a queer art showcase on the 4th. That was really wonderful. And on tomorrow, the 7th, will be Before Night Falls. We're having a drag poetry slam.
Oh, no way.
On April 22nd at Trope Arts Learning Lab, which is in Little Haiti. And it's a queer artist. Yeah, it's a queer artist led project. Kara Dodge, who's an incredible drag artist and really experiments with the form and wanted to bring the two forms of poetry and drag together to make and evolve a new art form. So I'm most, I think, excited about that.
I think that's incredible. And I think that's something that your community art form is all about, which is bringing new ideas and creativity. And I think that art is all about the impact that it has on the community and making people feel and think different things. So I think that it's really exciting to have that a special, that component. We talked about what you were doing for kids with the ice cream. Is there any other things that really go out and reach for kids?
So we at O Miami, while the poetry festival in April is like our big poetry party, We also have an ongoing year-round education program, and that's how Chain Letters happened in Morningside K through 8. So we're doing a very large zip odes campaign, and we're trying to get parents in our schools to also write zip odes with their kids, and that's called the Family Poets program in schools. And so we're basically trying to get all parents to kind of write poems with their kids and submit to zip odes, which zip odes is our largest campaign we do every year. Have you heard of zip odes, Jim?
The lighter?
No, that's Zippos. So we invented it.
Shoes?
So we invented a poetry format called Zip Odes. So it's an ode.
See why we don't practice?
Yeah. So we basically, similar to a haiku, which is the 575, but instead it's your zip code. So my zip code is 33173. So your poem would be 3 words, 1 word, 7 words, 3 words about your neighborhood. And that's a partnership with us and WLRN. We do it every year. It's a lot of fun.
Great.
Yeah. And anyone can submit a zip ode. You can go on to WLRN and submit a zip ode right now if you'd like.
Oh, I got it. It's a zip ode.
Yeah.
Oh my. That's great. And it's a play on words too. So high five.
Right. And we have kids that do it. We have elders, everyone from different parts of the county. And also it's multi-county. So people from Monroe, Palm Beach, and Broward are in on it as well.
We've only got a couple minutes left.
Sure.
We've walked all around the county. We've talked about every type of person. And the one thing I really want to do is compliment you on bringing it all together and making it really a community effort. The fact that it's wide ranging, but touches all the different aspects of our community was really illustrated when you mentioned the creator of your Venetian, Jason Katz, who is a longtime friend of mine. And we haven't come together since the COVID thing started. And here we are coming together virtually with him, talking about his creation, which really is what art is all about, impacting people and bringing them together in a positive way. And that's why we love Lisa Paley and you guys. I want to thank Lisa Paley for bringing us the Miami Poetry Festival. Again, Melissa, where do people get information and what's your website so that they can find out about all the great activities, which we just highlighted just a handful?
Amazing. Yeah. So omiami.org is the place where you'll find all of these engagements. If you're on social media, it's at Miami Festival, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And those are also places where you can counter poems if you're not comfortable also going outside into these events. So every day you find a new poem that's posted on Twitter, and they're from kids, they're for community members. There's digital activations as well. And you can sign up for our newsletter at omiami.org.
And the best part was, and unfortunately I'm going to mention it now, we didn't even talk about the stuff that I'm sure is out there as people reemerge into the community.
Right.
And that's a really big therapy thing that they're going to be able to do with you and to collaborate together and to venture out in safe ways. Oh my gosh. I want to thank you so much, Melissa Gomez, you and your team, Scott. Thank you to Lisa Paley for bringing this to our audience every year. Lisa is really one of the cultural icons that people don't realize are here in town. She's a real treasure.
Absolutely.
And I want to thank you again, Melissa. Thank you again to Lisa. High five to Jason for what he's doing.
I'll tell him you say hi.
I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon on the Miami Poetry Festival and your ongoing efforts to culturize Miami. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thanks for having me.
No, it's my pleasure. We'll be right back. They're waiting in the wings. Lindsay Wallace and my friend Robyn Hankerson-Printemps. I always just try to get that. I don't know if I really do. She's going to correct me. I know it. They're our friends from Publix. We're going to talk about Publix in the community, Publix in the Everglades, Publix in you right after this. Again, thank you to the Poetry Festival. Thanks, Melissa.
Thanks.
Reagan, it's yours. Yeah, I'm just texting Jason right now. Hold on. Well, that was really what it's all about, isn't it? That's what Freedom Business is here for. Freedom Business is here to make our community a better place and to bring new ideas and new experiences to people that otherwise wouldn't have them. It's just so wonderful. So again, thank you to Lisa Paley and the Oh Miami Festival. Thanks to Jason for texting me back. He knows how much I love him. And remember, I love you too. That's why I put all this together. Other people that love you are the folks at Warren Henry. They treat you like family. They treated me, my wife, my friends, my mom, all of us like family for years. And that's the kindness in the world that we're all seeking right now. So if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you know you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar at 151st and Biscayne. Well, up in Gainesville, they sell Audi. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. Probably go down there and get myself a Jeep, or maybe go up to Gainesville, get an Audi, but I always end up with the Infiniti. Larry knows that. I'm going to see Larry at Supercar Saturday this weekend up in Pembroke. Hopefully you'll come join us out there. It's a great time. It's a family time. Lots of great fun. It's an outdoor event. It's a safe event. Warren Henry Advantage. It comes with every car. That's a great list of services that you get, including, of course, the free service loaner. They'll polish up your rims if you scratch them. They'll get you one of those new $100 keys if you lose your key. But the biggest thing is you become a member of the Warren Henry family. It's great. They treat us like family. My mom loves it. She's a technophobe, but she goes in there. She's the queen. Thank you to Maytel Stark for that. I go in, I get my new car. My wife just got the brand new QX60. It's amazing. I'm not sure which one I'm going to get. I may even get the QX60 this time. We'll see. But what I do get, I know I'll get the best price because they guarantee it. So remember, always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
It's time to stop the hate and spread some love. You are beautiful, you're smart, you are awesome, and you never have to change for anybody. You have the voice and you have the power. We are so much stronger when we come together. It's your choice, so choose to be inspired. Choose to be accepting, be strong, be brave, be awesome, be daring, be kind. Choose kindness.
Well, I think you're getting the theme for today, especially with our kindness ad. I love that ad. Remember, give me a call. I'm in real estate, but that doesn't mean I'm not kind. Remember, you can DM me, you can email me, you can text me. Just reach out. I help families across the country execute their real estate plans, memory care, retail, multifamily apartments or condo, bridge lending, land loans, hard money lending, and of course, I can help people with their difficult home loans as well. Still waiting for that laydown loan. Please send that over too. And remember, whenever you reach out to me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freedom Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freedom Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're really excited to get another real valuable member of our community, somebody who's invested heavily in our community and does it all the right way. We've got Publix on. I want to bring on Lindsay Wallace. Lindsay there? Lindsay? Thank you. Hi, Lindsay. And we've also got Robyn Hankerson-Printemps. I know I blow that up all the time. I really am sorry. I did okay?
You nailed it.
All right, great. I'm really glad. Thank you so much, Robyn. I really appreciate you. Lindsay, we really appreciate you. But the thing I really do appreciate you both for is your selfless commitment to our community and the things that you do to make our lives better every day outside of the aisles. Okay? We're going to talk about that today. I know you do some great stuff in the Everglades. I want to talk about that and then some of the other initiatives that we've got going on. Let's start with the Everglades. What's going on in the Everglades? Who wants to take the lead on that?
Jim, I'll take that. And I just want to say thank you for having me on today. Robyn has told me so many good things about you and your show here. So I am very excited. Just to let you know who I am. So I'm Lindsay Wallace, and I am the Media Relations Manager for Publix in our Miami division. So very happy to be here today. Yes, Robyn and I work closely, so I'm sure I'll be in contact with you as well. Very excited to meet you. So yeah, today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Everglades, and Robyn's going to talk a little bit about our public service events and probably some other things. And what's the great thing is that they tie together. So public service this year was focused around environmental efforts, and that's what I'm talking about. So I want to talk about the Everglades. So as you know, we believe that making responsible choices that positively affect our environment and our associates and our communities we serve is essential to our success. And that's part of why we entered into a new commitment towards sustainability with our $2 million commitment that we made towards the Everglades Restoration Project.
Thank you from all Floridians and from the birds and everybody. Thank you.
Well, and let me just tell you a little bit about what that means. So for those that may not be aware, but our $2 million commitment is going towards the removal of invasive trees and plants in 1,000 acres across the wetlands in the Florida Everglades.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just love your excitement around it.
No, but I understand it because, look,
Yes.
I grew up in Miami. Okay. Just like every kid in Miami, I went to the Everglades. I went to the thing. I got the mosquito bites. My mom put the lotion on the bites, okay? I swore I'd never go back because of the bites. And I went back. I went back this summer. I have my college roommate. He takes his kids to all the parks. And right there, Everglades and Biscayne is the only place, I think, where you can do two parks in like a couple of miles. And we did them both. And I want you to know I could see Biscayne National Park from where I'm sitting right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. And most people, they move here for that. They don't ever know about it.
No.
They don't ever know. And they don't understand what you're doing is stopping the place from being choked to death.
Yeah, well, and that's what I wanted to share today, too, is some of these big stats that I think you'll find very interesting as well about these invasive trees and things that we're working with them there in the Everglades on. So part of our funding is going to go towards restoring the health of those habitats, like you mentioned, and return, are you ready for this? An estimated 174 million gallons of water per year to that local environment. So I just pause there. 174 million gallons. If we think about, just 1 gallon. So yes, it is a huge effort. And, you kind of touched on it already, but a clean water supply is absolutely fundamental to the health and wellness of every community. And so just to throw another stat out there, this area that we're talking about today, it supplies nearly 8 million Floridians with fresh water. So I think that's a number that a lot of people are not aware of, but those Everglades areas are, again, I'll say it, 8 million Floridians with fresh water every day in that area. And the other piece that it also has that I want to talk about is it provides a critical natural habitat for endangered native species. Yes. So that is that other piece I wanted to hit on. And you touched it before I even got there when we got on. So thank you.
No, it's my absolute pleasure. Look, when I was growing up, they told us to be a friendly Floridian, put on a happy face. So yeah, and that was with the Weeki-Wachi skiers would come after that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
awesome.
Great. But we all fly over the Everglades, at least when we used to fly, and when we fly now, I guess, and people see it and it turns colors during the year, and there's a reason for that, and a lot of it is mismanagement. So I really do appreciate what you're doing, and it's really, I do these topics and the poetry and all this. All of it is to create an environment of kindness and goodness so that we can come together and create a better community for ourselves, more importantly, for our kids.
Love that. Love that. So, just to share a little bit more about that, I mentioned the 1,000 acres, 500 of those acres are within the Corkscrew Swamp Sanctuary specifically. Again, removing those invasive willows and other plants. So you may have seen it last month. We put out a press release that we are through phase 1. Not sure if you saw that or not, but for those that did not see it, I will share. So to date, we have they've finished 200 acres in that Corkscrew Swamp. Wow, that's hard to say. Corkscrew Swamp Sanctuary.
I'm not going to try.
So to date, they have finished 200 acres of those, removing those plants. And there was a third party that came in and evaluated what had been done so far. And with that phase 1 removal, it will allow more than 44 million gallons of water per year to be returned to the wetlands. So already, I mentioned 174, but already we're at 44 million gallons of water being saved. So let me just clarify what that means. 67 Olympic-sized pools is what that is equivalent to. So for me, that put it in perspective. 44 million gallons is a ton, but if we also say it's equivalent to 67 Olympic-sized pools. So that's what's been done so far, and that's just phase 1, Jim. So we still have phase 2 to go. Phase 2 will actually start in May of this year. And what that will be is another 200 to 300 acres where they'll work on those invasive plants as well and removing those. The other exciting part, I mentioned at the beginning, was the endangered native species. So they've already reported to us that with those 200 acres from phase 1, they're already starting to see, they set up cameras and drones. They're already seeing species that they have not seen in there before. They reported black bear, deer, and other animals that, because it was so densely populated with this overgrown willows and trees in there, they were not going. So we're already starting to see some more of that. So it's very, very positive things coming up, especially as if we think about it, the rainy season coming. And funny enough, I was sitting here, it started thundering as I started talking to you. So, the rainy season is upon us. So the fact that we've already been able in phase 1 to get through to those 200 acres, that just means that rainwater that's coming this season is actually going to seep down into our aquifer, which is very exciting. And again, we still have phase 2 to go. The other piece to just mention in phase 1 started in September. They're also going to work on preventing the regrowth of these willows. So that's another big effort with this whole project that we're doing to make sure that, we don't have this problem right away again. So
who's doing the physical work?
That I will have to find out for you. I can find out who is doing the acts.
Well, I was thinking that in some cases your associates are going to be doing work like this too. Is that correct?
Well, it is funny that you mentioned that.
I was trying to give a softball over to
I was about to say you're stealing Robyn's thunder here, but I will pass the ball to her in a second because you're right. We actually were out. Robyn and I were out as well. All of our wonderful associates out volunteering their time. That you're right, they were doing that. So with that, I will kick it to Robyn to go in depth before I steal her thunder.
What a team we have here! Now we've got a couple minutes and we're going to go to break. So Robyn, give us a little taste, and then we're going to go back and we're going to have a Publix feast after the break.
A Publix feast. I love how that sounds. So you said who's doing the work? Over 6,000 Publix associates. That was who was doing the work. So we just wrapped our spring Publix Serves week. And essentially Publix Serves happens twice a year during the spring and the fall. And it's where our associates go out and they volunteer in the community. So during the spring, we made it all about environmental work. So a lot of the work that Lindsay was talking about, removal of invasive plants, cutting back mangroves, doing beach cleanups. I mean, we even had a project where we were working through laying new coquina rock to make a path for wheelchair accessibility.
Wow.
Incredible stuff we had going on. And our associates were out at over 230 different parks and other organizations throughout our company footprint, really just trying to do our part to make this community a better place.
Well, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to talk about other ways that Publix reinvests the money that we spend there to help make our community a better place. Can you guys stick with me for another segment, please?
Sure thing.
Awesome. Regan Mendoza, yours. Wow, that one's memory lane. That's got to be at least 5 years old if it's a day old. Well played, Mr. Mendoza. Where were we? Oh, we're talking about my good friends at Warren Henry. That's where I met Robyn. Warren Henry is real involved in the community also. We met at the, I believe it was the South Florida Athlete of the Year Award. So thanks to Publix for sponsoring just another thing they sponsor to make our community a better place. The folks at Warren Henry, they rock the world. I'm going to be up with them this weekend at Supercar Saturday. My good friend Ken Morris is going to come meet us up there. We're going to see all the great cars, feel all the great energy. And of course, I'm going to put in my order for my new car. Vivian just got the brand new QX60. When I tried to get insurance on it, they go, "What's that? It's not even on our chart." That's how fresh it was. Thank you to my friends at Warren Henry for doing that for us. Wow, I outran my coverage, didn't I? So remember, they're located. I got all mixed up. So if you want a Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, or Jaguar, 151st and Biscayne. Want an Audi, Gainesville, need something else? They've got everything down in the Keys. All those cars, what do they have in common? Well, they're great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry advantage. That means you get complimentary loaner car if you turn it in. You get complimentary keys, key replacement if you lose your key. Probably not your house keys, but if you lose your car keys, they'll help you with that. The rims, I like to park close. Sometimes I scratch my rims. They polish them up for me. Hey, best price guarantee, got it. Best price for your car, that too. Don't like your car, they give you 72 hours to exchange it. Guess what? Nobody exchanges it. They all love their cars. Join me, lots of my friends, my beautiful wife Vivian, my mom. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service. Wait for it. Always Warren Henry.
This is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. A lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Fried, and I do real estate besides the podcast, of course. The real estate I do, well, I do some residential for some of my friends that are hard to finance. No W-2, no problem. Getting like 5 of them done. Just got another call on that this morning. Bridge loans, got that. Construction loans, inventory loans. If it's got hair, I can help it finance. If it's easy, please call me. I could use one of them. I help families get invested in deals. I help them do their deals. I add value to the families that need that help. I answer questions, and I check to see whether people are telling the truth or some of them. Always. It's always all about them. In fact, that's my tagline, and here it comes. Remember, when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Fried on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Fried or at Fried on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Fried1. Now, back to your host, Jim Fried.
Hi, I'm back. We're on with our April show about being in the community. We had the O Poetry Festival, talked about something they're doing artistic that you can get involved with everywhere. We gave a high five to my friend Jason Katz, who put together their tour of the Venetian Islands. And we're on with perhaps certainly one of the biggest hands that lifts people up in our community. We're on with Publix. We've got Lindsay Wallace and Robyn Hankerson-Printemps. She laughs because it always brutalizes me to see that. Always. Something up here. It's missing.
No, you've actually got it, Jim. You got it.
All right, great. So, Robyn, thank you so much. We talked about how we've had the people from Publix hacking away in the Everglades, clearing the Everglades, making sure the bad stuff doesn't come back. but you do a lot of other stuff besides hacking the stuff in the Everglades. What other things is Publix doing in the community to make our lives better every day? Because I think we're all investors in Publix because we all go there.
Absolutely. So, one thing that has always been a part of our culture is giving back. So I know we talked a lot about public serves. I know we talked a lot about, the Everglades project, but I think one of the biggest things that we talk about, I know we talked about last time, is hunger alleviation and how we do our part. Absolutely. As a grocery retailer, making sure that, folks in our community can have food on their table and have access to healthy foods and options is just so important. And so for the past 2 years during the pandemic, we've been working with our local food bank partners, Feeding South Florida and all Feeding America partners actually across our company footprint, delivering produce to them weekly just to make sure that that food can be infused into our communities.
People really don't realize how difficult it is for certain members of our community to get to Publix. One time I had a client of mine, they wanted to donate to an at-risk community. And they said, we'll just give you a bunch of cards for Publix. And I called the minister and he said, I can't use them. My people can't get to Publix. So it's really, really wonderful how you're helping Publix get to people. I mean, it really is something that's really in our community. There are these things, the food deserts. There is difficulty for people getting healthy food. And here's one of the things that I really, it's sort of a third rail, but let's talk about it anyway. You see people from certain communities walking around. They don't look underfed, but they do look improperly nourished. So you help these people get food items that they may not be able to put into their basket on themselves. Is that not correct?
Yeah, Jim, I think it's those individuals, but it's everyone. I think we saw during the pandemic that, no matter what you looked like, if a hardship hits you, that can completely change your situation. So we saw individuals who maybe never thought they were would need food or need access to food before, in some of those distribution lines. And believe it or not, working with some of our food bank partners, we see that that's still a reality. While things have gone back to some sense of norm or this new normal, right? We still have seen the services through our food bank partners and through a lot of the, organizations that we work with, whether they're faith-based organizations, churches, some of the smaller food banks, they've all been saying we still have clients that, weren't individuals that may have come before, but the pandemic definitely took a toll on them. And so that's where Publix really gets to step in and keep providing these, options for them through our Feeding More Together campaign that we just concluded, where we allowed our customers to donate at our registers. And those, dollars were helping to, buy non-perishable items for our food banks and other organizations. And then Publix donating that produce back as well. So they were getting both the produce and non-perishable items to help feed those in need.
Listen, kosher items as well. I know from the Jewish Federation. I know from personal experience because I get phone calls from people. It's extraordinary how touched so many people are, and everybody walks around and it's like on an avatar. Everybody looks perfect. Everybody's okay. Everybody's wonderful. Everybody's fine. And the person walks through the door at home and is confronted with a circumstance that they don't know how to deal with. And if they have food insecurity, remember, there's also housing insecurity in today's world with these rent prices and stuff like this. So the ability to really get an affordable, healthy meal is out of reach for a number of people. I know it's an incredible problem. What are some of the resources that you work with that people could avail themselves out if we could maybe mention some of them? Well, it got tough because my brain was working faster than my mouth could go because of the magnitude of the issue.
Sure. So we work a lot through Feeding South Florida, and they obviously, work with a lot of different organizations, whether it's Meals on Wheels, whether it's faith-based organizations, churches. So we really try to have individuals work through them because they host the different distribution sites and know the different partners. So whenever, an individual reaches out to us, we do try to connect them to the different resources that may be existing for them.
We only have like a couple of minutes left, and I'm kind of emotional because of the issue that we just discussed. So I want to flip it over to Lindsay. And I want to say, Lindsay, we've talked about a COVID-specific outreach for hunger. With COVID evolving, will you guys be doing another program? And is it something that will be able to help people as people transition? They're going to forget, but the problem isn't going to go away.
And Jim, when you say program, what type of program do you mean?
Like the donating and focusing on coronavirus and having a thing up there, give to coronavirus. It'll be into the food bank. Now perhaps there's another way to publicize food insecurity in a way that touches people, that makes it in every person. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I'm not an expert on food insecurity, although I could be.
Jim, absolutely. We will continue having efforts, and yes, we will. We have, we'll have another program. Robyn mentioned Feeding More Together. We'll be doing that again towards the end of this year. So that will happen. And then we also have, and I'm talking Robyn's world right now, so I'm sorry, Robyn, I'm stealing her thunder, but.
No, I asked you the question. I'm going to give her a question about you next. Don't worry.
Oh, good. This should be good.
I'm going to give her an easy one too.
We also have another Public Serves Week that we do later in the year, and that one's actually focused around hunger. So, yes, so our earlier one, as we talked about, focused on environmental, which is why that played perfect today, because I talked about Everglades and Robyn talked about Public Serves. Later in the year, towards the end of the year, actually, we have our second Public Serves Week, which is solely focused on hunger alleviation. So to your point, we have several more programs coming up. We actually have different ones. Again, I'm talking Robyn's world, but we have some back to school events where we help with more than just hunger, but also, those school supplies and things that are very vital.
This is what I wanted to ask Robyn. You have a tremendous influence on the community. You're very involved. Wouldn't do it now. You're a Gator.
I knew that was coming.
So no. This is going to be tremendous. This is good. Really right. She's going to hit it out of the park. Clear the fence, tear the cover up, the whole thing. If somebody wants to get involved in the community and have a career path that's similar to yours, where they can end up working for a wonderful organization that cares about the community, how do they do that?
Oh, that's a good one, Jim. I didn't see that one coming. So I would say the biggest opportunity for anyone trying to get into this field or company or anything is connections and relationships. Really making sure that you're connecting, being out in the community, volunteering. I started my, career when I left the University of Florida. I came back home. I started out volunteering with organizations like the Urban League and Art Serve. I was kind of all over the place doing a lot of different things and meeting so many different people. And I think that has has really helped drive me and help get me to the places that I've gone. So I say to just really network, volunteer, and do it with a good and pure intention behind it,
Love that, Robyn. Love it.
Yeah, I do the same thing in my silo from UF, but I go broad to everybody, young kids. I don't care. I did the teaching thing for the education fund. So that's me. That's Robyn. That's Lindsay. And that's Publix. Hey, listen, I want to thank everybody. Robyn, anything going on that we should know about? Lindsay, anything you want to promote before I head on out?
I'd say just stay tuned. Like Lindsay mentioned earlier, we'll be having our Tools for Schools campaign coming up at the register. So customers will be able to donate and help give back to those in the schools and the locations in which we serve. So stay tuned for that.
Well, I'm so proud to be a Gator when I have you on the show, Robyn. It's just the best. Lindsay, where'd you go to school?
I actually went to Florida Southern College here in Lakewood.
Another wonderful alumnus. That's great. You see, it's really all about the relationships that you build and projecting the goodness that you've done. So, Lindsay, you're from Lakeland originally?
I am. Yes, sir.
Look at you.
Yes,
Thank
and
you for
still
coming
here
on the show. I really appreciate you both. We've got
course.
Robyn, we've got Lindsay, we've had Publix, and we've had a tremendous time. We've had our folks from the Old Poetry on. Again, thank you to Lisa Paley for that, and my good friend Jason Katz for putting together the tour of the Venetian Islands. I'm going to invite Publix back. We'll talk. I guess I talked to Lindsay now. You've handed me off, Robyn.
I'm always still here.
Yeah, I think we're a good team.
I think it's tremendous, actually. I'm really excited. I'm glad. And this gives Robyn more time on her hands to do good things.
Thanks, Jim. We appreciate
it's my
you.
pleasure. Hey, remember, everybody, I want to thank our sponsors, Warren Henry Automotive, the University of Florida Center for Real Estate Studies. See, Lindsay, that's what we do.
Not like
And I want to thank Publix for coming on and being on the show today. Thank you for Old Poetry. We'll be doing this next week. I can't even remember. I'm so excited about this. I didn't look to next week yet. We've got great energy. It's always all about you. And remember, this is the part I love. The person that wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you. God bless America. Mr. Mendoza, it's yours. Thank you, Publix.